Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. We are
Jessilyn Persson,
and I'm Michele Mupo.
and we're brought to you by Moopo TV.
And you could catch all of our shows at www.mupotv.com. And if you want to know more about Mupo Entertainment, then you can go to www.mupoentertainment.com. So, Jess, I have a question for you. How many shows do we have so far in the works?
We have approximately 45, and more are signing up as we speak.
And if somebody wanted to actually have an idea about being on a show or wanted to have their own show, the key with Mupo Entertainment is that they own their own show. They're the producer of their own show. We do give them guidance, right?
Correct.
So let me ask you a question. Why would you not want to be on Mupo TV? Because on every other platform, you don't own it when you put it through.
I got zero reasons why you wouldn't want to be on Moopo TV. And I say that because, like you said, you own it, but also the content is yours. And what that means is you can put that anywhere else, on any other channel, on a podcast, on YouTube, put it in a book, make it into a program. It doesn't matter. It's yours. And you get 52 episodes with us, along with training, like you said. And there's really no commitment. If you decide you don't like it, you can leave.
So 52 episodes, let's get this straight. For 13 episodes, right? It's one season. So 52 is 4 seasons. We're giving you 4 seasons within that year to put in it. And correct. Keep in mind, Mupo Entertainment will become a household name. Mupo TV will be in every house all across the nation, on every iPhone, on every Android phone, on every tablet.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you've ever dared to dream, if you ever want to be on TV, in a movie, anything of that sort, Moopo is a great start, because it's not just for celebrities, which we do have as well. It's for entrepreneurs and anyone who's willing to take that step and put themselves into action.
Yeah, because if you had a dream, we're going to make that dream come true.
Exactly.
So on that note, tell me about your Moopo Awesome Week.
I always have a Moopo Awesome Week. I mean, to even ask me, I'm going to say yes. Why? I mean, part of it's mindset. It's your attitude. I mean, it's awesome if I say it's awesome, and no one can tell me it's not awesome, because that's their mindset, not mine.
All right. Now, if I want to go watch Mupo and Friends at 2 p.m. Eastern, where am I going to go? I'm going to go to what?
MupoTV.com.
And when I go to MupoTV.com, what am I going to do?
You're going to click on Mupo and Friends. But before you do, you might want to show up 5 minutes earlier and just preview all the other shows we have there that you can watch later, or set your timer to make sure you catch it when it premieres each week. And then go to Mupo and Friends.
Right on. And for that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our guests.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Moopo and Friends. Our special guest today is one of the owners of Innovative Products, in which her signature product is the Fluzzle Tube. After being a teen mom, single parent of 3 for many years, her 9-to-5 professional career started as an admin for Hewlett Packard, then Wells Fargo Private Bank, and ending with Kaiser Permanent. Before leaving Kaiser, she helped launch and manage her husband's restaurant, Home Run Pizza, in their hometown for 7 years before selling to Cynthia. It's true, it's a diversified resume, but one she would never change. The experience and growth through each have prepared her for what she is today, and she is full of gratitude. Please welcome Salana Whitehead. Hi, Salana, how are you?
Hey, Jessilyn, I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
I know, long time. So I
Yeah.
want everyone to know about the Fluzzle tubes, and they're all about connections. How important is the connection to you and your family, even your employees?
Yeah, connection is huge. We always talk about how, and I'm sure you can relate to, like, there's not a lot of coincidences out there. You get connected to somebody, or someone shows up in your life, or things happen and things start to work together. Those are connections, and those connections, just like the Fluzzle tubes, are like puzzle pieces that make this beautiful mosaic in the long run. And so, with our family and with our business and any business that we've been involved in, we are huge supporters of working together and being connected and finding different strengths within our family, different strengths within our jobs, with our employees, of how we can work together for the common goal. So connection is a big word for me. I love it. I love what it does. I love what it represents.
So when you started FuzzleTube, you thought it would be easy just putting it on Amazon, and you learned that you had to be the face of the company. Can you give advice to others who are in a similar situation?
Yeah, so we were transitioning out of a brick and mortar business. So, seeing people every day in and out, and, really being able to share our service or our product. And so when we jumped into this e-commerce world, we just kind of went with, just regular common business knowledge, what we thought we had. And the name that came to our mind was like, duh, Amazon, just put it on Amazon, show everybody buys everything on Amazon. It'll just sell like crazy, because we believed in it so much as a product solution. But what we learned was that customers, people, and ourselves too, we want to know who we're working with. We want to know what the mission is, what the purpose is. Of course, you're also going to just want to have the functionality and the bells and the whistles of the product as well. But it's really important for people to make a long-term relationship with who they're buying their products from, to know who's behind the business. And so that was a big jump and leap for me. Talk about out of your comfort zone, because I honestly wanted to just hide behind it. I just wanted to push it out there and be like, there it is, go get it. It's awesome. Had no problem talking about it quietly, face to face. But when it came on being on stage, I just was not real comfortable with that. So I was constantly encouraged to do that. And my little slogan is do it anyway. Even when you don't want to do it, just show up and do your best and get better, and commit to being horrible at first, because repetition breeds excellence. And so you just have to keep showing up and doing it. And so that's what I did. And I was horrible, very horrible in the very beginning. I don't even know if today if I would call myself excellent, but I'm just continually sharing the story, share from the heart, be genuine, and let people know what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And once I did that, things really started to grow, and we saw a much bigger connection of what we call the Fluzzle family, like people that really care about what we're doing in the off season and the on season events, things like that. So yeah, there was a big learning curve in the beginning to really see that, okay, I have to actually do something a little bit more uncomfortable personally. I have some personal growth to do to help this business grow.
So tell us though about the struggles that you encountered, because you had to be the face of the company. Yeah.
So the first struggles was this idea of pitching folks our product. I again had that mindset in the beginning. The product is amazing. Everybody's going to see it, and they're just going to love it. That was the tape recorder going off all the time, and that was not the case. And the feedback that I kept getting was, people want to hear you. They want to hear about what how the product came to be, all the stories behind it. And so the first one was Camping World. I think that was our first big pitch. And we had to fly over to a new state. It was freezing cold. I don't like the cold, as I'm sure you can tell. I'm a big sun chaser. But anyways, freezing cold in the snow. And it's just this massive group of people. It's kind of like doing maybe a Shark Tank or going on TV. And here we are, blowing up all these tubes and putting them all in for our background and everything. And I got up there to deliver, and I completely forgot everything. I just froze. You just got that stage fright, And so that's that little message in there that says, kind of do it anyway. It's kind of what I had to listen to and just begin speaking and start talking and stutter and all of that. So that was probably the first thing that I remember as being the most challenging thing, was to actually put myself out there and have them say, oh my gosh, she speaks horribly or something like that, which is the fear in the beginning. And then to have them, to have it work was just a huge indicator to me to keep showing up and to keep doing that and keep getting uncomfortable.
Can you provide details about the product you brought to market?
Yes. So we are like reintroducing it back to market. I can kind of share a little bit of the whole story here. So the Fuzzle Tube was actually invented by one of our sons, our second oldest, Clark. And he did bring it to market initially back in 2013-14, but did not take it forward. And so when we were finished with the restaurant industry, we had done some retirement discussions. What are we going to do with our time? What we were going to travel. Our kids were grown and out of the house. And what we really narrowed it down to is that we love bringing people together. We love connection. We love outdoors. We love sun, and we love solutions. And so we were sitting around talking, and we're like, man, I feel like we're talking about Clark's product, Fuzzle Tube, And so we talked with him about it, and he has already moved off. He's brilliant. He's moving off into another industry. He's in finishing college right now. And he didn't want to really revamp it. And we said, well, how about we do it, or let's try to do it together. He said, you guys just go ahead and do it. Have fun with it. It was kind of become like a fun hobby thing on the side. But the question you asked me was what the product is. It is a floating, interlocking, puzzle-shaped tube. So if you've ever floated on the water and you've held on with arms or legs, and some people down the river use all these ropes and they make like a whole spider web of connection so that they don't lose each other when they go down the water. So this product, this Fuzzle Tube, it looks like a puzzle piece, literally. And so you have all these options of where you can connect and disconnect to make whatever shape you want so that you can stay connected, but also disconnect in case the river changes shape. And you don't have to like cut ropes and things like that. So it brings people together for more fun without the fuss.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
I want to know the big aha that you got when you did 360 with my idol, Brandon Dawson.
Yes, Brandon. I love Brandon. The very first time I heard Brandon speak, I was like, how do I get closer to this superhuman? He's amazing. He just is so gifted, and he has a heart of gold, and he is constantly pouring into people, giving them knowledge, and he's amazing. So, the 360 is massive. There is so much information in there to try to capture in the 3 days that you're there. But, the biggest thing that stood out to me, the aha moment, even though it doesn't sound like so structurally business focused, but it is what you think is what you say is what you do, and what you do becomes your legacy. And that can apply to any business, and it is mindset focused, but it is amazing to me what we say every day, with where we're going, with what's coming our way, or, negatively and positively. And that just really stuck out to me. And that whole experience. I mean, it was a fire hose experience. There was so much data and information coming at us, and we were still very much in startup mode, very much the small fish at the table there. There was a lot of big businesses in our group with us too. So, but that's another thing that I love about Brandon. It was like, even from startup to billion-dollar company, like he can sit there and give you structure and tell you the next steps of where you need to go. So the big aha moment for me was the mindset, and that we are capable and able to grow and scale like we want.
Yeah, I absolutely love them.
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. Big fan of Brandon.
Yes.
So your work experience seems to be very diversified, from an operations specialist in a private bank to a catering business owner, and now representing a family business. What was your biggest win in each of these three experiences?
Yeah, so very diversified. I was a single mom for many years starting out. And so I really was, the provider. And so I was always, I started out in the admin space. So working for, just an assistant. And then started getting into more leadership roles. And I think that's probably because when you're a single mom, you have to become a leader. You are the leader. You're the mom, you're the dad, you're the cook, you're the repair person, you're everything, right? And so I was constantly looking for more challenges in work. And so when I got to Wells Fargo Private Bank, I think that was probably one of the biggest roles that I had. Just a ton of responsibility. Responsible for the whole floor, all the different departments of the private bank, of their admin group at least. And I really enjoyed it. And what I took away from that is that I'm capable of doing more. I didn't know, I don't think I believed it up until that point. I just kind of thought, well, you just keep going. But I got a lot of recognition and appreciation at that position, and I hadn't really received that before. So it really kind of let me know that, hey, you can do more. And then the restaurant experience with my husband getting that restaurant, my role there was really about gathering and bringing people together. I'm a total, I like to talk, as you can probably tell, but I'm a total influencer. I love to bring people together for a good time, to have fun, to connect and grow and all that, right? So, and my husband is very business minded. And so the two of us together, with that restaurant, it was really beautiful to watch, us pull a community together, but also make it a really good business, we employed, hundreds of people, and really were able to grow and spread in that, when it was failing when we bought it, and got to get it back into the community. So that was a fun experience. And so now that we are working, 50-50 together in this business here, it's great. We're using some of the same skills of, leadership and organization, and my admin skills are huge for the business right now. My husband, again, with the mindset and his business experience and stuff like that, it's been a good combination. So I think they all fit together. I don't think there's a coincidence. I think all of our little skills from everywhere that you go, you put them together, and it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely. Now, as a woman entrepreneur, what advice would you share with other women who want to open up their business now, post-COVID?
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily, well, it can be for women, it can be for men, but I will say, find somebody who's already been where you're trying to go. Be that a woman or a man, but, I know there's a lot of industries that are incredibly, challenged in the women's space. And so I would find a woman leader. I would get around people that are doing bigger and greater things than you are, so that you see the challenge, so that it pulls you forward, so that they can give you a roadmap even. And most people that are further along than you are willing to share that information freely. They've gone down the path or gone up the mountain, and they're ready to share. They want to grow. So I've done a lot of that. I spent a lot of time learning. I'm a lifetime learner. I think I'm going to be. I constantly cannot get enough information sometimes. And I love following people who have been where I want to go. So I would highly encourage to, every part of your planning of the year, chunk out some times consistently to be around people that are going to the places that you want to go.
Definitely. And
Yes.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
And we're back with Salana Whitehead. As an entrepreneur, share with us your journey since the launch of innovative water products, your family business behind the launch of Fluzzle Tubes.
Yeah, so the launch for us, it was a slow launch. We were talking earlier about the Amazon idea, and we, committed, and we got a large quantity of our very first order. We were super excited about it. We made some upgrades and changes to it that we were excited for everybody to see. We had a Facebook ad that went viral. I think went into 1 million views or something like that. And so we thought, oh my gosh, this is great. let's just move all those people and tell them to go over to Amazon. And it didn't happen that way. In our very first year, we only had about 20,000 in sales. And we had to sit there and figure out, what are we doing? We do know that startups take time, but at the same time, we were like, this was rough. And so all of that inventory that we had sent to Amazon, we had to receive it all back. And we did not have a warehouse. So we ended up using storage units to put them in, because we had to get through each season, because it was after right about now, like September, October time. And what happens is anything you don't sell on Amazon, they start charging you storage fees to hold it. So we pulled it all back and really had to figure out and decide if we were really committed to do this again. But we did. We weren't willing to give up. And so the next year, though, as we got started, COVID hit. And so we were like, okay, here's the next blow. What do we do with that? But, for a lot of industries, COVID was a blessing. And for us, because we were a leisure type, bring people together outside to have fun, it was a great fit. So we were able to move all that inventory that we had from Amazon, plus the new products that we brought out within that time. And so it worked, but it was challenging to get through each one of those hurdles. And right now we're dealing with another hurdle for next year with, I'm sure you've heard, all the shipping containers that are sitting out in the sea and all of that. Yeah. So we're working with that too, because we manufacture overseas. But, when you believe in your product and you believe what you're doing, you just keep moving forward. And we've seen that when you do that, great results happen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Now, are there any new product launches planned for 2022 by Innovative Water Products?
There are. So, we always innovate based on customer feedback. So we are super connected with our customer base each year. We want to know, everybody who purchases a Puzzle Tube will get a phone call from somebody on our team, ask you about your Puzzle Tube. What was your experience? Did you go floating? Where you went floating? How it worked? We keep all that data so that we know. We have different versions of Puzzle Tubes for different water types, so for pools, for rivers, for lakes. So this year, I can't share everything quite yet, but I will tell you that it's a game changer of what we've done to the tubes, a new upgrade. It is going to just completely revolutionize the way people float and connect on the water. Everything's compatible. It'll still look like the same Puzzle Tubes you have now, but game changer. The way they connect, I'll tell you that. And we've changed our cooler. We've upgraded our cooler. And then there's a brand new tube that's going to be used for the tube rental market, which is another big vertical within our industry. People that rent over and over again to people.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah. Thank you. It's exciting.
That is. So what advice can you give people who are working a 9-to-5 and want to start their own business, but they're worried about quitting their job?
Yes. That is a big one. I shared that. I was able to get published in my very first compilation book this past year, which was an awesome opportunity with 30 other entrepreneurs as well. And I shared in there too that, that was a big, scary step for me. One, from being a single mom and just having that security of a 9-to-5 and have that paycheck coming in all the time. And, a lot of entrepreneurs can just say they just jumped and went for it. For me, I was like toes gripping the edge. I was always like, I think I'm ready. I wrote a resignation letter, and then I crumbled it up, and then I wrote it again. And then so it was very, very scary for me. And so what I would say is, take the time to really connect with what your purpose is and where your goal is and where you're going and growing. Because if you just go on a whim, you can, there could be a lot of extra back work that you have to go back and fix and do. I'm not saying it won't work, but have a little bit of a plan, just and not even, super formal, but just basically like, what is the ultimate connection that you have with yourself of where you're trying to go? What is your goal? Where are you really trying to go? Right. And then a few steps behind that and how can you go there? And then once you see it all connecting, you do have to actually jump. You actually have to really go for it, even when it's uncomfortable, and be ready for that feeling that you have when you're going down a roller coaster or when you bungee dive or whatever. There's going to be that stomach kind of coming up a little bit, and it's going to feel a little bit crazy, but it's a part of the process. So you do have to jump eventually someday. You will dip a little bit, but surround yourself with a great community of people, hang on to those targets, and stay focused on what your purpose is, and things will align.
That's great advice. So what can you tell us about the book Ignite? Because you started to talk about it. So what is it? Ignite the Entrepreneur? That's the name of it?
Yes, it is Ignite the Entrepreneur. And Brandon Dawson is the foreword to the book, which is awesome. Always wanted to be in a book with him too. So that's really cool. But yeah, there's like 30 or more entrepreneurs that all share their Ignite moment. And so kind of like what I was just talking about when you know you need to jump, when you get those little indicators, those little messages that tell you that, you know, maybe I don't need to be sitting at a desk all day long. Maybe there's something more for me. You know, that's that Ignite moment. When does that spark start? So people are sharing their story from all different types of industries, men, women, just it's beautiful. So you're bound to find a story that you connect with on there. I highly recommend you check that out. But yeah, so that experience was great. I really found that I enjoyed it. At first I was like, I'm not ready to write anything. But the process was amazing. And it's really encouraged me to write more, which I'm working on something else right now to share with people in the future. But Ignite is really, it connects with so many people on the entrepreneurial space, because we all have that little itch of that we need to do something, but what is it? And so people share what it was for them and how they were able to take that Ignite into their business that they have today.
Awesome. Now, if I wanted to get this, where can I get it at?
Yes. So Ignite the Entrepreneur, I believe, is still on Amazon is the main source where you can get it. You can just type in there, Ignite the Entrepreneur, and that's the best place to get it.
Right on. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. So Salana, people tend to think that working with family members on the same business can be challenging sometimes. What is your main takeaway following the successful launch of your family business?
Yeah, so for any family business in general, but family business especially is communication, I would say. You have got to keep those lines of communication open because there's that break between, you know, when business needs to get done and then your personal life. You know, when we've had two of our sons work with us for us. And then also just my husband and I, you know, we have obviously our marriage relationship, and then we have our business relationship. And it's so important that you don't take, you know, a disagreement from, you know, last night at dinner into the team meeting the next morning, you know, that those are two separate things. And so really dividing that out, but also just, you know, really keeping communication open about like things that aren't cool with you, things that are great. In that communication is a lot of acknowledgement as well. And, you know, encouragement to your team, especially with family, because sometimes you might take that family for granted because they're always there, you know, and sometimes your employee who doesn't live with you or whatever that comes around, they may get more of the praise because they're kind of like outside of, you know, they feel outside the circle. But it's really important internally when you're dealing with a family business that you treat your family as a team in the business, but also you have that relationship with them as a family, and keep the communication open on both sides.
Now tell us about your product going international. That must be very exciting.
Yeah. So, you know, the international segue really happened through TikTok for us. We were encouraged to do some videos on TikTok. I didn't know anything about it actually at all. But I said, okay, well, we'll try a video. And so we put one on there, and it branched into Australia and Canada. Were the first two countries. And we started getting emails and connections of just, you know, hey, we need these over here. Never seen anything like that. We still have a little bit of work to do with that, but at least we've been able to test out the markets there, and we've been able to branch out and get a couple of retailers in both of those countries. But that's the goal. The goal is to be worldwide and to have these floating solutions for everybody. So I'm thinking 2023 is the year that we'll be global fully.
That's a great goal. Can you tell us what it was like to pitch on QVC and HSN's The Big Find and what it means to win the big ticket?
Yes. So, this was an opportunity. We looked at, I'm not a major QVC consumer myself, but we knew that this was a big stage where we would get in front of a lot of people to share the solution. And so, I had to do a little bit of homework and really understand who the celebrities are that are on there. Watched a great movie called Joy. If you've never seen that, I highly recommend it for entrepreneurs and just the whole QVC story. So I did my homework to figure out, how the organization even came together, what they stand for, quality, value, and convenience. And I really tied together who they are with what our product had and why we were a good fit. And so when you put those together, along with amazing training from Brandon's 10X pitch program too, where you were really, you're creating a relationship with people. You're not just, putting too much information on them. So, getting all that homework and putting it together and delivered, as I think was what made it work. But it was nerve-wracking. We were in our garage. It was during COVID. Normally they fly you out to their studio and, there's all these cameras and everything. But because of COVID, we were in a garage. We literally had a ladder with a laptop on it, tubes behind us. We were like sharing earbuds and trying to deliver the pitch. I had it all written out on a whiteboard behind me in case I forgot the words. It was a great experience. It was wonderful to be selected. We, had a little bit of challenges with getting on air at the right time. We didn't get on air till the end of July. We were supposed to be on in May. But we will go back again this spring. So we'll be back on again. And they're a great group. They're very well organized. They're a well-running machine there. They push thousands and thousands of products out by the minute. So we did well for our 9 minutes on air, and we're excited to go back again this spring.
Nice. We have someone that actually is a part of Mupo too, Connie Giordano, who's also on HBO's Mare of Easttown, and she actually works for QVC.
Okay.
She's one of the talent there. So maybe we can get her we'll have to tell her about this. Definitely.
Yeah, I was told that the first time you go on, especially when you're part of the contest, you need to represent yourself. But as you go forward in the future, you can actually hire or contract with one of the entertainment folks to represent your product. So who knows, that might be a good fit.
She's amazing. She's teaching some classes for us, for anyone really, through Mupo. So that's pretty good. She's really good. So what are your goals for the future, both professionally and personally? I was going to say professionally, financially, and personally, but I didn't want to take Brandon's lingo.
Yeah, it's okay. Professionally, I really want to grow this company worldwide, which is, get the Fluzzle Tubes worldwide is a big piece. Another big part is to grow our team. We were able to add, a couple sales guys on our team this year, which has been great, and watching them grow and getting them to their personal and professional and financial goals as well, which is that's how it works. So I really want to grow our team internationally and give people more opportunity for growth as well. And then, personally, I think I shared with you too, I have a lot to share that doesn't have necessarily everything to do with just Fluzzle Tube. It's kind of like my whole life story of different things that have come together, different connections that have built the person that I am today. And I think a lot of things have been given to me as a gift to share, and I've just been kind of holding on to them. So I'm looking forward, and I have a goal of opening up that gift a little bit more and sharing it with others in different ways.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So where can people buy the Fluzzle Tube?
Yeah, so fuzzletube.com is our main website. It's where you'll get directly from us. We are on Amazon. We are in several retailers across the US, but mainly online is Amazon or fuzzletube.com.
And I have another question. How
Yeah.
do you express gratitude? Because you are one of the most humble people I know.
So gratitude for me is the foundation of everything. It's where joy comes from. It's where peace comes from. It's where growth comes from. And so I start every single day and I end every single day with gratitude. It's a part of my journal. Been doing it for a while now, and there's always something to be thankful for. You just have to look for it and recognize it. And you really can't, I'm repeating a lot of things you probably already know, but you just can't be grateful and angry at the same time, and there's a lot in the world for us to be angry about. There's a lot for us to be frustrated about, but why spend this little bit of time that we have on this planet wrapped up in all of that? Like, look for something to be thankful and grateful for every single day. And that's just the foundation. What grows from there is amazing. So I highly recommend morning and night. It's a great way to stay consistent. It's a great way to keep it right by your bed, little journal, something, anything. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with the conclusion of our interview with Salana Whitehead.
And we're back with a conclusion with Salana Whitehead. So before we wrap things up, we have one last question. If you were to interview yourself, what question would you ask and what would the answer be?
Ooh, that's a good one. I guess I would ask myself, would you, if you could go back and fix and change and, change the way things work in the world, would you make the same choice that you did of what you're doing today? And maybe that's because that's a question that I actually do ask myself sometimes, but the answer is yes. And even through all of the frustration and all of the challenges, the journey along the way has been amazing. I am so thankful that I left my 9-to-5. I appreciate the days so much and the hours and time and what we're able to do with it so much more. And so, I was really comfortable before we jumped into this. And, I just, I ask myself sometimes, should you go back? Should you go back to where it was? And the answer is no, I don't want to go back to that because the opportunity and what's ahead is so much bigger. So I think that would be my question. And the answer is yes, I'm happy with my choice.
Awesome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure visiting with you. You can follow, like, and subscribe to Salana on LinkedIn at Salana-Hall-Whitehead, on Facebook at Salana.Hall-Whitehead, on Instagram at Salana.Whitehead, and on our website, which is www.fuzzletube.com.
And as always, thank you for tuning in to Moopo and Friends, courtesy of Moopo TV. And you could catch all of our shows at www.moopotv.com.
This is Jessilyn Persson with our host, Michele. Until next time.
Have a Moopo awesome week.